I'm about to make an extremely bold claim in this video. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. How you doing today? We're going to start at the end and work our way back to the beginning. This is going to be the end game team that is pretty high end in terms of champion availability, but also is going to give you the best results with our friendly Warchief, because this guy is incredible now. He is absolutely incredible now, and I think that he is good enough to be considered one of the best Hydra champions available. And that is a pretty bold claim. In addition to that, I think that he is the closest we can come to Archer that's not Archer, okay? He does a lot of the same things that she does, and his kit is very well suited towards many people's accounts. Now, I have learned an awful lot about Warchief in the last week. I have been doing some extensive testing, and there have been disasters, there have been successes. I was going to say there have been disasters and failures, but that's the same thing. And now we've gotten to a point where I feel like I have a good, solid understanding of Warchief, what you need in order to be successful with him, which I'm messing up right now. And I have all of that information for you in today's video. So, as I am talking here and not paying attention, I have botched this just a little bit. You can see the life shield went on the head of decay here when it should not have. Warchief is literally the best provoke champion in the game now. He can keep the head of decay provoked the entire time 100%. And the only thing that's going to prevent that from happening is like if you're missing stats or he's consumed like that, like he's eaten. Like there's just like very few things that can stop him from controlling this head. And I think that this head, the head of decay, is the most problematic for players in Hydra, and they don't realize it. One of the main things I see people skipping out on is the provoke in their Hydra teams, and I think that, I don't know, I guess I want to say this video is going to be evidence of how powerful it is to have this debuff in your team. You can see that I have a lot of protected debuffs here, or protected buffs, excuse me. That is going to be a very important part of today's video, but it is not going to be an essential part. I'm going to show you all different manner of teams, and it will apply a lot more to early and mid-game players than anything else. And I'm excited about that because I think Warchief is one of those champions you can unvault or be super excited to pull now because he's going to really unlock this content for you. Now, what do we need to be successful with him? That is what I want to talk about mainly in this video because he is kind of tricky to work with, okay? All of the damage and whatnot you're going to see in today's video is not this insane. This is the best version of the team that I could come up with. The rest of the teams are going to be more accessible, so make sure you stick around till the end of the video. When you are using Warchief, it is very, very helpful to have a cleanser on the team with him. The best cleanser is going to be Cardial, but it does not have to be Cardial. Actually, Lady Mikage is a wonderful cleanser. She decreases the duration of the debuffs on your team, and that is a very helpful one as well. I did not have a chance to put her in a team with him yet, but she would be another option here. Obviously, there's tons of cleansers that are potential options to put in the team with him. The other thing that you need to know is that you need to either manual or semi-manual your runs with him. He will not target the head of mischief, or excuse me, the head of decay. He will not target the head of decay on his own. He just won't, because he has this awesome ability to steal buffs. So any head that gets a buff put on it, he will automatically target there. Now, if you're lucky enough and you get a random buff put on here, then that's perfect, okay? And his ability to steal buffs is amazing. He's definitely going to steal this, and that's super helpful whenever he gets back around to his ability, that is, okay? Now, a thing that is weird about him is that he's a defense-based champion. We'll get more into that later, but that's something that you don't want to forget. And last but not least, you don't really want him in a team with another shield champion. He's going to be providing a very huge shield based on his defense, and, you know, you don't want another shield champion to overcome that. So making the teams with him is rather challenging, but like if you had an overlapping shield, okay, so what? Okay, so what? So he has a 3-turn provoke on his A3, and then he has a 1-turn provoke on his A1, and then all of that works really well together with this shield and buff stealing ability, okay? So, what else do I need to say about him? I think everything will come together once we see the damage here. Valkonen is going to be the superhero of this team, spoiler alert. But also, the other teams are going to allow me to explain what's happening here very well also. So let's get to the damage screen on this run, and then we'll flip over and look at some of the other teams that I've been working with. I have a couple other ones that I would recommend, and then you can fill in with the champions you have on your account or don't have on your account. All right, so let's get there, and then we'll move on. Let me know in the comments below if you are going to be using Warchief and what teams you put him with, because I love talking about Hydra. I love hearing from you guys, so let me know in the comments where you've been using your Warchief. But as far as I'm concerned, he is a Hydra specialist now. Okay, I wanted to come in here and just, like, take a minute to appreciate the power of freaking Valkonen in this team. Like, this dude is such a baller. 1.9 million, popping heads, and then his single target ability is freaking insane, too. So, let me show you that. I'm so impressed with him. It's crazy. And then, like, this is, like, the strongest head, right? Like, he's not the one that you even want to be targeting with this. So we could be getting even more damage elsewhere, but this is the one that has decreased defense and weaken, you know what I mean? So let me show you his A1 here real quick too. I know, Valkonen, you're going to try to steal the show, and that's okay. Warchief is protecting you and allowing you to do this. Oh, man. Okay, well, even without the decreased defense and weaken, he can still do an incredible amount of damage. If I just, like, A1 here, 1 million damage without decreased defense and weaken, like, that's pretty impressive, right? Like, bust that Valkonen out of the vault, because he deserves to be in your teams. He really does. Let's see if we can get back around to one more hit with him. And man, I've just been, like, super impressed with the damage potential of this team. I did not expect that. I was just trying to get to 100 million, and you'll see, based on the other teams, that'll be clear to you. Oh, geez. Well, that sucks. Okay, well, you know, maybe it's just not meant to be for this video. It's not supposed to be a Valkonen showcase anyway. We can A1 here, 350k, you know what I mean? Like, this is a very powerful champion, and if you have him, you should definitely be building him, and then you can also use him in Arena. He's very good in Arena. Okay, yes, sir. Please sign me up for that. Valkonen did 210 million. Gallic did 100, and then the rest was split up between everybody else. Cardio actually did 47 million on his own, thanks to that 6-star crushing rend. But yeah, what an incredible result here. So let's go ahead and look at the stats on these champions. And let me tell you how I was able to get a pretty big damage boost here, okay? One of the reasons is going to be merciless gear. One of the reasons is going to be protection gear. So if we take a look, the speeds are one of the things you want to pay attention to. If you want crazy endgame damage, you need crazy endgame speeds. You'll see I have 300 speed here, I have 300 speed here, 300 speed here, 300 speed here. Valkonen is freaking slow. He's just getting the turn meter boosts. And Supreme Gallic, I think he must be missing a piece of gear because normally he's faster than that. But this is an incredible result. Let's focus on the Warchief here because I think that this is pretty important. 6k defense, as much speed as possible, and a minimum of 350 accuracy. If you can do accuracy and resistance, that is helpful, but I'm going to show you the relentless build that I have on him, and I think that that is the best bet. So let's come over here. Oh geez, that's a typo. Warchief. And we have this nice build with the resilience and relentless sets. I think that that's a great way to be able to get extra turns on him, which is going to help him cycle through his abilities even faster to protect your team. The most important thing is going to be defense percent on the gloves and chest. On the other build for him, you're going to see that I did not have as much defense on there, and I just wanted to make that, accommodating for other people. In all of the other teams that I'm about to show you, this was his build here. 260 speed, 411 accuracy, way less defense, but more HP. Now, if you can, you would want to keep him and as high as defense as possible, but I didn't think that that was going to be possible for a lot of people, so this is the build that I used here. So, what are those teams and what were the results? Let me get that set up for you, and then we're going to talk about what the importance of those teams is as well. Okay, so here is the first team, and you're going to see a lot of work with Thor here, and that is intentional. A lot of people got Thor, and so that was a great way to bring him into the team. So I wanted to start with Revivers to pair with Warchief that would fit really well. And Uko is amongst the best in that category. A lot of the Revivers provide a shield, and we just don't need that with Warchief. So I went with Uko here. He's going to do a lot of things in the team that's very helpful. But once you start adding Uko, you realize really quickly you need Inquisitor Shamail to pair with Uko. If you don't have Inquisitor Shamail to pair with Uko, then it just gets messy really quickly. Any champion that has an AoE A1, you need a Perfect Veil champion, you need I don't even think cleansers are enough, but Inquisitor Shamail is the best to pair with that because otherwise they're going to skip so many turns due to being feared. In addition to that, since we are manualing a lot of this run, Newt becomes a much better damage dealer. Now, this wasn't a super long run or anything. This was still above and beyond the minimum needs for Nightmare Hydra. And I think Warchief does a great job of getting you to your first 1-key Nightmare. But as we saw in the first team, he can also be a part of your insane endgame damage Hydra run. Next up, we're going to see a pretty different setup here to pair with Warchief in another let's clear Nightmare for the first time type of setup. Another great resource to pair with Warchief is going to be Elva. She's an amazing Hydra champion, but she also does not provide that shield. We have Thor again in the team, and then we have some other common champions that people have. I think a lot of people got Odin, so tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty disappointed with Odin's damage, if I'm being honest. I thought it was going to be a lot more than that, and I don't think he really is that good of a decreased defense champion. I mean, he has enemy max HP hit on his A3. I was like, okay, let's do it. But he ended up just kind of being problematic rather than helpful, so I would not recommend using him. Ninja, on the other hand, however, extremely good, and more people should be using him. I have Jingwan in here as well, who's going to help with the fears in this team and buff removal in case buffs get up on the enemy. This team does a great job of removing all those buffs. Jingwan can be any block buffs champion here. Probably a lot of people would use Monkey instead, but Jingwan is an amazing option. So those are some of the situations where I found Warchief to be powerful and helpful, with replacements for your account as well. If you have some of these champions but not all, post the champions that you have in the comments, and I will try to suggest champions to go with that to help you. You can also get a coaching session from me, and I'll hop on your account and personalize the builds suggestions or build the teams for you as well. So what do you think about Warchief? Is this a champion that you're going to be building on your account? How can I help tell you or show you that he is an amazing champion? I hope I've done that today and proved it to you, but you let me know in the comments how well I did, and I will see you guys in the next video. Let me just sneak in here at the very, very end and show you the masteries that I've been using. These are the ones that I have been using. Let's, since I'm sneaking here in at the very, very end, let's not cover me up on the masteries. Cover the masteries up with me. I don't know if this is the very best, like no one ever was, but this is what I've been using, and it's been pretty good. So let me know what you think. I wonder if we could have come in here for rapid response as well. That would have been pretty cool instead of Swarm Smiter. But that's the masteries that I'm using. Have a great day. Bye-bye.